Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today for the webinar. Welcome to London Business School, and as you are aware, this is an early careers overview for all of the programs that we offer. So to begin with, we'll start off by introducing ourselves. So my name is Malak. I am the Student Recruitment Manager for the MIM, GMIM and MFA programs, and I'm your go-to when it comes to any questions about your application. I also work very closely with the admissions team, and I have my colleague here.
Yeah, hi, my name is Xiaoya. I work as one of the recruitment missions manager for early careers program. So my role is really to take on your application after you submitted it, and we do reviews and interviews, and we'll follow you all the way through until you become a student of LBS.
Right, so today's presentation, I'll just talk you through our agenda. So we'll first discuss and talk you through the insight into London Business School and the life here. So what makes us different and the reasons why a lot of students actually choose our programs. And we'll also go through the program portfolios. I understand that you are all interested in the early career programs, so I'll be giving you a breakdown of all four of the EC programs and what we offer and their differences to hopefully help you decide on which one hopefully suits you best. And if you are interested in applying, we'll go through the admissions. So the step-by-step and components required to submit a really strong application. And also at the end, we've got a Q&A session. So we'll be delighted to take your questions, and we'll be delegating about 15 minutes at the end of the presentation to answering your questions. So please hold off for now. So to begin with, so why London Business School? So our faculty works at the forefront of innovative business thinking, influencing business leaders, managers, and policymakers really across the globe. We believe that our program should always be changing and evolving as the business world also changes. So with new technologies, speed of information, new issues and business struggles that we actually deal in the 21st century, so hopefully being able to address those. It's the vision of the school to have a profound impact on the way the world does business and the way business impacts the world. And really, in order for us to do so, we really draw a lot of strength from our cultural diversity. We we aim for you to really learn from your peers and from their experiences and their backgrounds, just as much as you would learn from the classroom. And also, the third point, we're located in London. It's a vibrant and fast-paced and culturally rich city. It's really the best starting point for you to explore business practices and be challenged by, the economical climate. And our global mindset. This is really the heart and soul of London Business School. So our students, our staff, our faculty, and alumni, they've all, and even our corporate partners, they come from every corner of the world and are all plugged into a really powerfully connected network, which hopefully you'll have access to as a student. And our diversity creates a highly unique multicultural learning environment where really collaborative and collaboration, innovation thrive. So going on to our reputation and our rankings. So London Business School has been ranked the number one business school in Europe for the past 5 consecutive years by the Financial Times. This is something we take a lot of pride in. Our Masters in Management program has been ranked third in the world. So this is obviously an EC program, and it's number one in the UK, also ranked by the Financial Times. And our full-time Masters in Finance has been ranked the world's number one post-experience program in the past 7 out of the last 8 years. We really believe a graduate degree is an investment in your time, in your money, and it's important that you choose a program and a school with a strong reputation, because the experience and the brand will stay with you for life. This is what we truly believe, and these rankings have a global, they are recognized globally, and by the institutes that you can see above. We have excellence in faculty. Our students and our alumni have all contributed to the success and the reputation and the rankings of the school, and hopefully we hope that in the future you'll definitely be adding value to that as well. So moving on, just to give you a little bit of insight as to, life here in the community, you'll be taking part in trips and treks to different global working environments, giving you first-hand exposure to different economies and sectors, exploring new cultures and the way business is done in different parts of the world. The global experience doesn't really just end when you finish or when you graduate. We have over 42,000 alumni based in about 155 countries worldwide. We have 113 alumni clubs who organise regular get-togethers and speakers. We also facilitate the WAC event, which is an annual get-together where we send the dean and the faculty to some destinations to speak, as well as organising on-campus events and reunions. And yeah, our alumni really do have a strong relationship with London Business School. And I think a fun fact, which not a lot of students know, is once you are invited for an interview, we try and team you up with an alumni somewhere, wherever you are based. As you can see, we're in a lot of countries, 155. So hopefully we'll have an alumni to interview you, which is something that we get a lot of feedback on and a lot of students definitely enjoy. So moving on to our faculty and our research. So what we aim to do is to apply, really applying what you learn to practice. This is the theme throughout all of our programs. We do it through things like the London Lab and the Global Immersions Field Trip. We have a faculty that brings cutting-edge research to the classroom. The faculty is made up of over 30 nationalities with an average range of about 29 to 73, and it's across 7 specialist subject areas, and a few of those are economics, finance, strategy and entrepreneurship, and also marketing, to name a few. And also our outstanding peer group. So what really makes LBS stand out in the community? So each year we have about 2,200 students across our 12 degree programs, representing over 130 nationalities. All of the students come from diverse backgrounds, not just in terms of nationalities, but also diverse in their experiences, in their career aspirations and their interests. As an early career student, you'll be able to really tailor your program through your choice of electives. These will allow you to study and mix with, MBA students, executive MBA, Masters in Finance, and even Sloan students who have up to 15 years of work experience. So, they have a lot of knowledge there. And even, it's not just down to experience, but, there are some young entrepreneurs who have started up new businesses, CEOs. So this is a lot of knowledge that you can really draw from. And the network, really, I think you're really able to create the learning that you gain. It's really not just from the classroom, it's from your peers as well. And also through clubs and the treks and the socials that come with it. So I'll be going through the early career programs. You are all interested in these, so I'll go through each one of them and give you a summary of what makes them different, and hopefully this will kind of support your decision. So first of all, I'll give you an overview of all 4 of the programs that we offer. So you can see here that the duration is pretty much the same. They are 1-year programs, the MIM, the MFA and the MAM. There is an option for a fourth term within those three programs, but that's optional, and you don't have to decide from now. When you're in your term 2 and 3, you'll be approached by the programs team, and they'll give you the steps, and there is a short application for that, but you don't have to decide if the fourth term is an option for you. And our GMIM is a 2-year program. So your first year will be identical to the MIM. So you'll be based in London. And your second year, you'll be in Shanghai at Fudan University. All 4 of the programs are full-time. And we have one intake, which always starts in September. So our class is due to start, but applications have now opened for the next intake starting in 2020. And in terms of the entry requirements, we look for individuals who have no more than 2 years postgraduate work experience. So I'll dive into the Masters in Management program first. So this program attracts the most diverse study backgrounds, as management can really be applied to any field in any sector. We have students who've studied law, engineering, filmmakers. It's very diverse. So really, I think, the highlight is the fact that you're able to tailor these programs to what it is that you are interested in through your electives. You'll take part in the London Lab, which is a practical learning 4-week project where you go out to London-based businesses, which will allow you to really dive into your research skills, modelling, and you'll not just present a deliverable to the academics, but also to people from that business, like the managers. This is really where it's where we find a lot of students secure job offers. We really aim to put you at the right place at the right time so you can take advantage of those opportunities. So moving on to the Global Masters in Management. So this is a double master's degree. So you'll be earning a Masters in Management and a Masters in International Business. As I mentioned, your second year will be at Fudan in Shanghai. Electives normally include things like luxury brand management, e-commerce. You'll have Mandarin classes within your first year that you'll need to pass in order for you to move on to year 2. It's not compulsory for you to speak Mandarin. However, individuals we find who are interested in the Global Masters in Management are interested in Asia, working in that region. And in terms of what we look for in applications and what would be a strong Global Masters in Management student would be someone who maybe speaks extra languages, has had global exposure, maybe an exchange abroad, or as I mentioned, just an interest in Asia. As long as you can, interpret that within your essay answers, then hopefully that should be enough. And moving on to our MFA program. So this program has really a finance focus. So providing you with really financial tools like Excel modeling, VBA and coding. The core courses are focused around 5 financial pillars. These are corporate finance, asset management, accounting, financial markets, and financial economics. We have a London Business Challenge Week as part of the program where you'll get hands-on through company visits, case studies, and market simulations. You will tour world-class London-based financial organisations and partake in a live case study. You'll be exploring challenges and issues specific to each one of those companies. This will really allow you to put your market skills to the test using real-world industry technology to compete with your classmates in really managing a strong portfolio. You'll also be tested on really how you communicate with your clients and how you effectively work within your team. you'll really get a first-hand feel for market vitality as you follow asset principal movements. And I think, the practicality of these programs, as you can see through these projects, showcase, how much we really want you to learn, not just theory and, textbooks, which I think a lot of you come from universities and you complain about that. So the practicality of these programs really shine through. So moving on to our new MAM programs. So this program is aimed at students interested and who enjoy working with data. The curriculum is based around data analytics, manipulation and machine learning, as well as a focus on core managing principles. This is to really help you tell a story through the data and make informed decisions in kind of like a business context. We look for students who have data-driven experience at university or through your work placement, and individuals who have experience and knowledge in softwares like Python, for example. So it's the first year we launched the program, as I mentioned, and it'll be a blend of applied data analytics skills, which recruiters demand at the moment, and also, world-class teaching in general management. So it's a blend of all of those things. And this program will allow you to pursue a career in business analytics and also have the flexibility to work across multiple sectors as well. So I'll now pass you over to my colleague Xiaoya, who will continue the presentation.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so I'll take it from here. So just quickly look at the class profile of our early careers programs. So for GMIM and MIM 2019 class, we have around 251 students. It is the largest cohort of EC, and we have 45% female students. Gender parity is something we work really hard on. And also, we haven't published the stats of the current class yet, but I can tell you the result is even better. And the average age is 23, what you would expect for early career students, and we have 45 nationality represented, just to give you a glimpse of how diverse the class is, and a GMAT average of 691. Moving on to MFA, and we have a slightly smaller cohort, 1,016 students and 33 female students, which we are working on improving as well. And the average age is the same, 33 nationality represented, and also a GMAT score of 716. The GMAT score, the average is something that I would suggest you to aim at if you haven't taken the test, but if you have already taken it and is below the average, you can either improve on it or really do think on other aspects of your application, because the GMAT score is definitely not the only thing that we look at when we review your application. Okay, and just to quickly mention one aspect of the program, the Global Immersion Field Trip, the acronym of which is GIFT. It is a gift, but it's not free, but happily that all the fees are included in the tuition fees. So it is a faculty-led global trip. It's 4 to 5 days, around a week, and it's a really good opportunity for you to gain some immersive experience of how the business is conducted in certain part of the world. And we have launched 6 exciting locations last year, and they're going to be repeated for the next couple of years as well. And they are grouped into 2 directions. One is social impact focused, so you can either go to Medellin, Nepal, or Cape Town, and to do company visits, to work with local client companies, to conduct consulting projects, deliver final presentations of business solutions with local clients and the faculty. They are really, really interesting and inspiring projects that totally changed a lot of our students' perspectives. And also the other direction is tech and entrepreneurship focused, also very exciting locations, Silicon Valley, Tel Aviv, and Beijing. The Beijing one is AI focused. Really, really great opportunities for you to go to those tech hubs and to engage yourself with local companies, tech giants, as well as startups, and also to conduct debates on different topics and issues as well. And the Global Immersion Field Trip has been nominated by many, many students as one of their best memory of the program. It's really transformational, and I think you have a lot to learn from these trips. So, moving on, let's talk about the Career Center. Because we understand an important reason for you to pursue a master degree is the career prospect. And here we do take a great pride in the career support that we deliver at London Business School. The master's programs are very short. You are on campus for around a year, so it's very important for you to begin thinking about your career journey, even now, even before you submit your application. And our Career Center team is always on hand to help you throughout the process. So if you already reached out to any of the alumni or current students, you probably already heard loads of amazing things from them about the support and help they receive from Career Center. We do have one of the biggest and most proactive team on campus. We have more than 40 full-time employees. They include career coaches and sector specialists. And you also have a variety of activities with them, including one-to-one coaching, mentoring, interview practice, and case study workshops as well. So even before you arrive on campus, they probably already conducted a series of summer webinars to help you mapping out your career journey and discover different industries. And once you arrived, you have a one-to-one session with your career coach, and who will be there to help you to discover your strengths and explore the recruitment landscape as well. And throughout the whole year, you attend career recruitment evenings, which can be sector or role specific. We do have the advantage of locating in the center of London, and so we do have a lot of recruiters coming directly to campus to recruit our students. So as the new cohort has just arrived on campus, very shortly, we will host our early careers recruitment evening where a lot of companies will come. And to name a few of the companies that came last year, we have Amazon, American Express, Facebook, HSBC, Bank of America, Arthur D. Little, Jaguar Land Rover, Roland Berger, and etc., etc. You will also have the access to job posting boards to see job advertisement as well as peer-to-peer coaching, mock interviews and coffee chats. We also have second-year MBAs who act as career peer leads who will give you more mentorship, more advice and suggestions on how to discover your career journey. And here just a quick summary of all the major brands that recruit from our early career students, but we do have an extended list more than that. So you can see it's across the industries, and we have a mixture of international renowned brand as well as startups as well. We do have very strong corporate relationship team, and we are very well known among different industries as well. So no matter which industry or topics that you are interested in working on, you can definitely have your dreams supported here at London Business School. Okay, now let's move on to admissions. So you already know how amazing our school is. So how to start applying? That's what I'm going to talk about as well. So what kind of people are we looking for? As an admissions team member, I always get the question is, am I right for LBS? What kind of students that you want to recruit? The answer is We do look at each individual holistically. We don't have a example of a perfect type of students that we look for. We appreciate the diversity. We appreciate what kind of differences that people bring to the cohort, and we think it is such an enriching experience to learn from each other. So when you consider whether or not to apply to a business school or postgraduate study, do think about if the school is the correct fit for you, because we do understand postgraduate study can be a big personal investment as well. So we do not only consider whether you meet the admissions criteria, but also we will consider you overall fit to the program and to the community. And talking about fit, we're looking at if you have the academic capacity, meaning if you have achieved excellent academic record from a prestigious institute, and also if you have done some research or projects that makes you stand out academically. And also we look for leadership potential. So we are cultivating future business leaders here at London Business School, and our students do take on leadership role either in a team or organizations a few years after they graduated as well. So we do want to see people who have the proactiveness to step up and to lead, to inspire. So rather than to sit back and being led all the time. So leadership potential, you can have a think about whether you have ever been in a leadership role in your study group, in any extracurricular activities, or in local organizations or any charities or projects that you've been working on. And also we want to, we look for people with a global mindset. So studying or living abroad or internationally is not a prerequisite, but we do want to see people who are open to things, who have the intercultural intelligence and openness to embrace different perspectives and different backgrounds. So we want to see people who have the interest to have a global career or to work in a culturally and culturally diverse team. So looking at the application requirements, at London Business School, the application process is quite standardized, probably similar to other business schools that you're applying for. So you will start by opening an online application. Everything is done online. You can log in and log out as you please, saving your progress as you go. And you will be prompted to submit the details of two referees who are able to share their insights with you. We do request one academic and one professional referee, if possible, which will enable us to gain insights of your abilities within two different contexts. However, if you cannot find a professional one, or academic one, two of either is fine also. So there are multiple sources available which you can use to research about the community and determine if LBS is the right fit for you and if you are the right fit for LBS. So this research then can be used in your application essays, where we set out two questions for you to answer in order to showcase the elements we look for in our applicants, such as motivation, commitment, team skills, etc. Some questions in the application form also encourage you to think about any international experiences you've had so far or your career aspirations, and how LBS fit in with the journey that you are embarking on in developing professionally, academically, and personally. A tip for you is when writing your essay is probably to think about answering the essay questions instead of giving a generic personal statement. So you can probably cover your questions and show the essay itself to any people around you or to people who are also applying for business schools, and let them guess what kind of the questions the essay is trying to answer. And if they can say the question correctly, you probably already done a good job answering the question. Otherwise, you probably want to tailor your content a bit more so it actually answers what the essay question is about. So global MIM applicants as well as MAM applicants will be asked to complete a third question as well, detailing why you want to pursue a global MIM, and also why have you ever get involved into a data project, etc., etc. So it's a third question specifically relating to that program. And business schools employers generally look for a one-page CV. Think about which of your experiences are most relevant to display on your CV, such as your undergraduate degree, work experience, and do display this in a clear way. So we have a post on our admissions blog which sets out some tips in crafting a strong CV. I do recommend you to check out. And we do have a LBS template available on our website, so if you'd like to follow a specific format. So do keep it one page. We asked a one-page CV for our MBA applicants as well, so if they can do it in one page, so do you. And university transcripts and proof of English abilities are documents that you will need to provide. You'll only need to supply an English test score, either IELTS, Cambridge Text, or TOEFL if you have not lived in an English-speaking country for at least the past 2 years, or if your undergraduate degree is not fully taught in English. And it's fair to say that applications are reviewed holistically, and the admissions committee takes into account each of these different areas that have been mentioned. So once the application has been submitted by the deadline indicated on our website, it will be reviewed by the admissions committee, and you will receive notification as to whether you have been shortlisted for an interview. As Malak said, we do use alumni quite a lot to conduct the interview. Also a very good opportunity for you to ask any questions on their first-hand student experience, as well as build that useful connection as well. Following the interview, the admissions committee will make a final decision on your application. The entire process will take around 8 weeks. And our next admissions deadline for the upcoming year is the early October. So if you're interested in applying, there is still plenty of time to start preparing the different areas of the application. So we really encourage you to do your research and to attend recruitment events if possible, and to speak to our current students and student ambassadors and alumni to learn more about the community. And also you can get in touch with our recruitment team as well to submit your CV for review, and or either to schedule a call or just to get more information on the program and whether you are eligible to apply or not. So that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, do send them through now and we will start answering them. If it's something really specific to your own background and to your own specific like GMAT scores or your undergraduate degree, do get in touch with recruitment team so we can give more tailored feedback on your personal conditions. But if it's a general admissions questions, do send them through, anything about the school, about the program, and we're happy to answer them. So I can already see we have a couple of questions. Can you please talk about registration and pre-program courses for MFA? Thank you. So once you've been admitted, then you will receive reminders from us to ask you to finish your pre-program courses, just to get everyone to a level ground when they start the program. So you will have the access to our study platform, and it normally takes a few weeks to finish the pre-courses. And that's something that, and then you will be welcome, you will be invited to register on campus as well. But it's more after you have received an offer from us.
I can see a question here that says, what will the process be like for referees? Is it a question, a letter to submit, or other? So to answer that is, within your application, there is a section for you to complete your referees details. So the email address is very important. As soon as you complete that section in your application, your referee will receive an email with a link which will take them to an online form, kind of like a questionnaire. But this is why we recommend that you have a really good connection and relationship with your referees, so anyone that has worked with you or knows you very well, because the more that they know you, hopefully, the more positive the feedback will be, more genuine and more detailed, which is something that will definitely help the admissions team. Once they complete their part, which is the questionnaire, as I mentioned, you will be notified within your application that your referees have completed their part. We recommend that you submit your application once your references have submitted their forms. But we understand that sometimes, some individuals can be very busy and you don't want to miss a deadline. In that case, we may allow 1 or 2 days extra for them to be able to do that. But please do be aware that if they don't complete their part, then your application will be considered incomplete.
Yes, I have another question. Is it recommended to apply in a particular admission round, or does it not make a difference? That's a really good question. So our general suggestion would be we recommend you to apply as early as possible, because the later you apply, the more intense competition you will be facing. But having said that, we do strongly recommend you to apply when you think your application is at its strongest point. So if you do want to take more time to prepare for your GMAT, or if you want to wait for another good internship to finish in order to get a stronger reference, definitely do so. So do not rush your applications. All the deadlines are publicized on the internet, so do apply according to the application deadline as well.
I have a question that says, what is the weightage given to different application materials such as GPA and GMAT and essay, etc. So as Xiaoya discussed, there is not one specific component or part in the application which we kind of base our decision on. So this is why, Xiaoya said that the application is reviewed holistically. So the reason why we have these, a variety of those different components is because we understand that maybe individuals have been in full-time education, they might not have a lot of experience, so they'll be able to kind of, improve in other areas, such as, say, their essay answers, maybe focus on a really good or strong GMAT score. So all of these components and areas within the application, they just help us gain a better outlook and better judgment of your capabilities and your potential, hopefully, on the program. That's why we obviously have a few steps for you to complete, but they all should go hand in hand because we are looking for well-rounded individuals.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So can you stress what is a fit candidate for MAM program? Thanks. So generally, the criteria, as I mentioned before, can apply to all the early careers program, someone with academic excellence, leadership potential, and global outlook. To be more specific about the MAM program, I would say someone do have a strong quantitative skills, either comes from a numerical degree or has shown strength in their quant-heavy courses, or they have been accumulated good experience in analytical projects, or they have done something data related in their internships or research or extracurricular activities. And also someone who can demonstrate why they want to pursue a combined MAM program that combines data analytics and management, and how this program specifically can support their career path and their personal goal as well.
So we have another question. Will it hurt my chances if I apply in November or December? Is it a disadvantage or an advantage to apply early? So we do, the applications now are on a rolling basis. As Xiaoya said, Our first deadline round being the beginning of October. However, we have another one in January, then in March, then in April, I believe. So there are a few stage deadlines. So we wouldn't really have those deadline rounds if we were not able to take on more students up until that time. So I would focus more on submitting a strong application, taking your time in terms of articulating your essay answers, and the strength of your application as a whole. We would prefer you to submit when you feel most confident in your application rather than you feeling obliged to follow or submit really early. If it was, in my opinion, I would still say, a January intake is still considered early. So the most important thing is for you to take your time and ensure everything that you are submitting is to the best of your ability. So hopefully you can maximize your chances in being admitted. And also for those individuals who, we obviously do have students who apply late within the last rounds or even later. We always make space for good candidates. As long as you have a very strong application, then you should be fine. But you should be aware that the reason why we encourage early applications and not leaving it to the last minute is because by the time we get to April and May, we have a very good idea of the class portfolio in terms of where these students are from. So the admissions team may become a little bit more selective. So, if we found that the class is mainly dominated by males, we will start preferring or looking into, making sure the gender is equal. But apart from that, your chances are always kind of the same throughout.
I have a question. Is it necessary to give the English proficiency test if my 4-year undergraduate degree is in English in a non-English speaking country? As long as your degree is fully taught in English, that meaning every single course is taught in English, it's either indicated on your transcript or is indicated on the website of your undergraduate degree institution, then it's fine. You don't need to submit a separate English proficiency test.
So we have a question that asks, what's the average GRE requirement for the MIM program? So we recommend for you to aim for around 160 in both the verbal and the quants. As Xiaoya mentioned also with the GMAT, this is something to aim for, but as long as obviously other components in your application are just as strong, so something, give or take around those numbers should be fine and should be something to aim for.
Is there a scholarship opportunity after the admission? Yes. So the scholarships will be mostly merit-based, and we will start automatically consider you for your for scholarship after you submit your application. Or after you've been made an offer, so you don't need to do anything extra at this point. And if you're being awarded, we will then reach out to you. And it's a combination of your application strength and also your interview performance as well.
So a question asks, what is the process for the GMAT waiver? Does applying for a waiver potentially weaken an application? So no, it doesn't. But if you are unable to sit the GMAT, this is why we definitely have this as an option. However, we do have 3 criteria which is essential for you to meet in order for you to be assessed for the waiver. We need you to have graduated with a first degree or equivalent. The second criteria is for university to be within the top 100. And the third is for you to demonstrate within your transcript strong quantitative abilities as well.
And I have other questions, just trying to find the general ones rather than the ones that is specific to one's profile. So someone asked how many students choose or can stay in the UK post-graduation. So we do have a very detailed career prospect report published every year, 3 months post graduation of the class. So it's available on our website. We definitely recommend you to check that out. It has a very detailed layout of different data, different on locations, on industries, on salaries. So it is this can be part of your homework, and it's definitely some research that worth you spending time on as well. Okay, someone asked, do we have more chances of receiving scholarships if we apply as an early applicant? Yes, the scholarships is always as is on a first come first served basis. So if you apply early, you definitely have a higher chance of securing a scholarship. And you apply really late in the circle, you might risk the fact that the scholarship has been run out and there's just no resource left. So generally in the previous years, if we recommend candidates, if they want to be considered for scholarship, they need to apply before the April. And that's is a similar suggestion that we would give out this year as well.
So we have a question that says, if I miss the October deadline, when can I apply next? So if you go on the How to Apply tab on the website and you click on the Admissions Calendar tab, within there you can see the chart which highlights all of the deadline rounds and even when you are due to hear a response if you're successful for an interview, and also the date of your final decision. So all of the dates that we we are due to get in touch with you via are published on there, and the next deadline round, I believe after October, is January the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. So somewhere within early January, but please do check the website to be sure. But yeah, all of the dates are published on the website.
And someone asks, when you review application, will you care about the score of specific part of English language test, such as IELTS? So we do have a recommended score of IELTS is 7.5 and 7.5 across all sections. And for TOEFL is 110 and 25 across all sections. So we do look at each section and how you do in each one of them. And we do look at specifically speaking and writing scores as well, because that's how that indicates the strength of how you're gonna interact with the cohort and how strong you can perform in the English language. But having said that, we do interview every successful candidate as well. So we, as a admissions team or alumni interviewer, we can assess your English ability during the interview as well. Someone asks, are there some specific questions on essays or topics which a candidate can work on? As I said before in the presentation, the application form is live now, and you can log in and log out as many times as you want and can save the progress as you go. So why not log in to the system and check out the essay questions yourself now, so you can have an idea what kind of topics you need to focus on. You can start preparing your essays very early on.
We have another question that asks, what's the difference between the early rolling deadline and the round 1 deadline, since there's only 2 days difference between them? So I understand that there's a lot of confusion between the deadline dates. There are a few questions on that. So rolling simply means that within that period, your application is reviewed as and when it comes through. And you can see on the website that your interview decision and your final decision is within 2 to 4 weeks. So it just means that your response will be quicker. But once you do submit within a deadline date, so say the next deadline is on the 2nd of October, if you submit on the 1st of October, it simply just means that your application will not be reviewed until that date is met. And then you'll be obliged to kind of stick with the dates that are posted on the website, in terms of 4 weeks for you to hear for an interview decision, and another roughly 3 to 4 weeks also for a final decision as well. But rolling simply just means that your application is reviewed as and when it comes through, and it may be a quicker process for you.
Someone asked, is it possible to get an admission while having low GPA? As we discussed before, GPA is only one part of your application, but we do expect the candidates to have a 2.1 and above equivalent score. If you think your GPA is not something that you have strength in, do think about other aspects of your application. How can you improve the other side of your application to raise your whole strength as a candidate? So as we stressed before, we do look at all the applications holistically. So it's never one part of the application that fail you, but rather than the overall quality.
We have a question that focuses on the references. So what type of, what is it that they submit? As I mentioned before, it is more like a questionnaire. It will not be an essay. So there'll be a few questions revolved around, your skills, your time management, etc. So as I mentioned, the more detailed they are and the more time they take to kind of answer that, the better that will be for you. But normally the form shouldn't take more than 15 to 20 minutes for them to complete.
Is having professional experience a plus for the application, even though it's not required? And I would say definitely yes, even though it's not required, but you will be competing against in a very competitive application pool. And what we see of the successful early careers admits is they come with multiple internship experiences, some with some international work experience, or some full-time experience as well. So think about the competition you'll be facing. Definitely do try to gain some sort of professional experience.
We also have a question that says, thank you for taking the time to address us. In terms of financing, is it typical for students to receive financial aid? So we have scholarships that we offer for all admits. So as Xiaoya was saying, if you apply early, obviously scholarships, they do run out. So applying early if you are interested in the scholarships, but those range between £6,000 to £8,000, I believe. So the LBS scholarships, but if you are interested in external scholarships, we have on our website a page with a lot of options, and we would recommend for you to go through them because they are based on criteria like gender, your background, your nationality, and you are obviously going to be competing with students from all over the world. So applying for those, you can definitely apply for those from now. But definitely do explore what is on the website. There is a lot of information in terms of scholarships and financing support. And we have a financial aid team as well that students can definitely get in touch with if they need further support. So I believe that's pretty much it. So we'll just wrap up the webinar here. We want to say, obviously, both of us, thank you so much for joining us. You will have access to this webinar for you if you wish to listen to it again. And as Xiaoya said, if you have any specific questions related to the programs or the admissions process, feel free to get in touch with myself and Xiaoya, and we'll be more than happy to help.